It's been a while since I've done a new video for Android 8 on the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus. We are currently at an end for the beta program, so we will no longer get any more updates in the UK, at least anyway. There is going to be a beta 7 for the USA, but as you probably know, they are on the Snapdragon 835 handset, so there might be some differences there. But as far as Exynos in the UK and maybe Europe goes, we're at an end, so within the next week or so, we'll probably get the final release. It has been hinted that we will, or at least people that have enrolled in the beta, they will get the final update sooner than people that aren't enrolled in the beta. So maybe that's like a little thank you to us, those of us who have fed back bugs and little tweaks and requests and things to the developers through the Samsung Members app. And if we fire up the app, you can actually see the beta notice saying that we're now at an end. So that pretty much is an official announcement saying that there will be no more updates to the beta program and to await the final release. So it's the 20th now. I'm guessing within the next few days we should see an update coming over the air. But as far as changes go in the latest version, performance is slightly improved even still. Each beta update they seem to improve it little by little. Battery life is improved as well. I'm now getting what I used to get on Android 7. So 24 to 28 hours I can get fairly easily. On a weekend, screen on time anywhere from 4 to 5 hours. If I'm on Wi-Fi, if I'm on 4G, because this area is quite weak for 4G reception, holding that speed, holding that strength is quite demanding on the wireless radio. So that drops the screen on time a bit, maybe about 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours even, with around about 24 hours of battery life from a full charge. But I'm not using Samsung's app power monitor. I'm using Android 8's or Google's own power management in Android. I prefer that because I've got a lot of apps which sync in the background, and Samsung's one is a bit too aggressive, I find. So that works for me. Tweaks wise, there aren't any new features really in the new beta. It's mainly been bug fixes, stuff that people have reported. They've been ironed out. Performance has been slightly tweaked. Things on the lock screen are slightly different now as well. You can see the iris scanning icon at the top that fades in and out, whereas used to have a circle outline that used to spin before. I actually preferred the old one, but I don't mind it fading in and out. You don't really see it that often anyway, and as soon as you look at the phone it unlocks itself. Other changes on the lock screen, you can now have a fully transparent notification bar. They have changed the icons only option, so if I go into settings and show you what I mean, lock screen security, and then clock facing widgets. Nope, it's in notifications. So toggle this option on to show the icons only, and then when you go to the lock screen, you can see it's got one big outline around all the icons, which are smaller. So when you tap on one, it just pulls the notification bar down. I don't really like that. I used to prefer the individual icons, and you could individually tap an icon before. So I've actually turned that off, and I've turned on the transparency for the notification bar notifications, so you can actually see the tabs can be opaque or they can be fully transparent, which is quite nice. You can also adjust the inverse text color for depending on what kind of background you've got. But other than that, there aren't really that many more changes. Dolby Atmos was shown in a leaked supposed final build, but the latest beta does not have Dolby Atmos in there. I doubt the final version will either, and I think there was some comments from Samsung developers saying it won't feature anyway, so it's probably an internal test or something for certain markets which they were playing around with, but it wasn't fully active. So I wouldn't really expect anything to do with that. But I would definitely expect the final to be released before the announcement of the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. That's end of January, February, or mid-February, something like that. And yeah, so far so good. And I'm still using Substratum. It still works with the beta. There are a few changes now to the latest themes. So I'm using status bar icons for Samsung and Swift Minimal. Status bar icons themes all my system stuff. So the icons at the top, the navigation bar is more like a Pixel 2 now. as well as the opaque background for the quick tiles. Let's just go back into Substratum, and Swift Minimal obviously themes the apps themselves. So Google Play Store, Google Now, and obviously the Assistant as well. So yeah, that's Android Beta in its final form at the moment, and I'll try and do another video once the final version comes out and I've updated. I'm not expecting to see too much change really. It's going to be more or less the same because this is so polished now and bug-free that I really don't have any issues with it at all. But yeah, thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.